Today is going to give us an interesting insight into our relationship with pets around Christmas time. It's that time of year again, it goes quickly, and many of us have got pets. I don't have one personally at the moment, but I have had them in the past. So Katie Taylor, Education Manager at Blue Cross, welcome to the show, great to have you on board. So can you give us a bit of an insight, Katie, in terms of what the research suggests around pets and this time of year, Christmas?
Yeah, I think what's really nice is our Blue Cross survey showed us that a third of pet owners actually say that their pets love to watch them put the decorations up. And even 3 in 10 pet owners are going to cozy up with their pet to watch a festive film. So it really brings to life, actually, how much pets mean to people, especially around Christmas time, and that many people will be making sure their pets are joining in on all the festive fun.
No, absolutely, and like, what's your take on, say, pet owners dressing up their pets, for example, in sort of, whether it's a sort of Christmas hat or along them lines? What's the rundown on that? What does the research say around that?
Yeah, I mean, actually, every pet is an individual, and some won't mind, others will hate it. So it's really important to know your pet. If you are thinking about dressing them up, making sure that they're still comfortable, that anything isn't restricting them, they can't move, and maybe if you're getting that Christmas jumper out that you want to put on them, if they're moving away from you, if they're trying to bite it off, if it's your dog, for example, these are probably signs which are telling you that actually they're not very happy being dressed up, and there are other much better ways of making sure your pet can enjoy Christmas time with you.
No, absolutely. I'm sure food being one of them too. I mean, many of us around this time of year probably indulge in different types of foods as well, and I suppose it's difficult to give any sort of dietary advice for pets. I'm sure they've all got their own, they might have their own individualized food, but what are the do's and don'ts, just as a general rule, Kate, for pets and food?
Yeah, so we can let our pets enjoy a bit of Christmas time food as well, but it's got to make sure that it's actually good for them and it's not going to cause them any trouble. So making sure we don't give them too much. But things they can eat are turkey meat, no skin or bones, parsnips, carrots, peas, potatoes, even the old Brussels sprout isn't going to do them any harm. But the things that we really need to be avoiding are stuff like chocolate, anything with grapes and dried fruit, onions, so whether that's in your gravy, sweets and alcohol as well. They're the things that we really need to make sure that our pets don't have access to. So we're either shutting them away or we're keeping them up where they can't reach to make sure that they don't get hold of them and make themselves poorly.
No, absolutely, that's a great point, isn't it? I think obviously this time of year as well, people get into the festivities and that sort of stuff, so it's really important for them to sort of take note around that as well. And in terms of sort of in general, I mean, are there anything that sort of we can do, or pet owners can do, to sort of include pets? I mean, I'm guessing that there'll be like people eating around the table type thing, and there might be a cat in the corner somewhere, or a dog feel like they're missing out. What can people do to sort of get them to join in?
Yeah, I think what's really good to remember is that all pets really want for Christmas is to be happy, healthy and fed as well. So if you're eating your dinner and you're up at the table, you could maybe make a nice Kong for your dog, so put something like pate in it or dog-friendly peanut butter. You could have a really great toy for your cat that they can play with, so you're keeping them involved as well. It's difficult at the minute with everything and the cost of living crisis, so Blue Cross have some fantastic DIY gift ideas on our website, so do check those out, because actually you don't really have to spoil your pet necessarily with lots of money and buying the best new toy, but there are other ways that you can make things like a destruction box for them or a toy for your cat, which is much cheaper and also quite good fun as well.
That sounds really interesting, and I'll probably get more enjoyment out of it as well, to be fair, in terms of doing something as well. But is there anywhere I can go to have a look at that, and people can have a look at the research and maybe look at, say, gift ideas? They're sort of thinking, okay, well, I'm looking to get some gift ideas for my pet, but I'm not quite sure where to begin.
Yeah, the best place to go is our website, so bluecross.org.uk, where there's lots of ideas about how you can get your pet involved in Christmas time. And really, just as simple as trying to keep to their normal routine will really help them as well.
Absolutely, and I'm sure a walk as well wouldn't go amiss on Christmas morning or Boxing Day as well, just to get out
Oh,
there
definitely.
in the
Yeah.
fresh air as well. And I suppose sort of going forward too, I mean, obviously sort of this time of year, people will probably they may even receive a pet as a gift type thing. And I know it's sort of outside the scope of the conversation, but what's your take on people receiving a gift as a pet, and that's sort of the reality of looking after it as well. I think in terms of that, where
Yeah, I think what's really important to remember here is that actually we need to do a lot of research when we're getting our pets. We need to make sure they're the right type of pet, that we know so if we're getting a dog, what breed is going to fit in with our lifestyle, and what age are we looking for. So all of those things. The trouble when a pet is being bought for Christmas, for example, is if it's a bit of an impulse and we haven't necessarily done our research. So I think the best thing to do is over Christmas time, when it's a bit quieter, maybe you've got a bit of time off work, if you're thinking about pets, do your research, get your family involved, look at the Blue Cross website, see what type of pet might be right for you and will fit in with your lifestyle, and then when you're ready, look at getting that pet then.
Yeah, that's a really great point, I think, for sure. And like you says there, it's that impulse thing with some people. If you haven't planned it, absolutely, that obviously takes a bit of planning and maybe like that, let the dust settle a little bit and sort of more sort of calculated decisions. So some really great points made there. So I want to thank you for your time and have a great Christmas. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Jimmy.